Hey people, back on the Facebook Live. So I hope it's hot enough for you. Reminds me of today and yesterday actually reminded me of an In-Between. I think it's In-Betweeners movie. They come out the airport in Crete and he's like, cool, it's hot. Might be too hot. Might be. It's at that point I think where it's almost, if you haven't got, if you're not used to it, if you're not in a country that's used to this heat where they've got all the amenities that you need, like, I mean, aircon as much as not good for your health, but not being able to sleep because it's too hot. It's a little bit much, right? So, anyway, hope you're all good. Hope you're using the time to get outside in nature and get some sun. But it has been extremely hot. And just before I get into today's post, as always, if you're watching this on YouTube, please hit subscribe so you don't miss anything. On Instagram, Facebook, please share, like, comment with anyone you think may need this message. Hey Vicky, I'm going to get on to what I'm going to talk about in a minute, but just quickly, someone I know who came back. This is quite. We talk about the government and how they're monitoring things, etc. Someone I know who just recently come back from the Balearics, who was meant to quarantine because you know how deadly this virus is. Chose to go out and actually buy some food and use her card to pay for something. And within half an hour, she was getting a call from the track and trace team saying that they've seen that she's used her card and is she quarantining. Now, that is bloody scary, okay? And that really does smack of communist China and Soviet Union Russia. So, people that think this is just about a quote-unquote deadly virus, I'm going to go into that another time, then think it's time to really pay attention to what's going on here in terms of what they can literally look at the money you're spending and know where you're. I mean, they can, if they really want to take a deep dive into it, taxman's always been able to do that, but to be able to do that just press of a button, very dangerous. Anyway, hello people. So today my main message I really want to talk about is buying products, health products, whatever it may be, from people that have been recommending them, such as celebrities, athletes, etc., that get paid to promote them. And one such athlete, as I've actually always really liked, you can use a Faraday bag for your phone. You can, but if you're paying on card, then they can do it. You know, they get rid of cash because that's what they want to do. Anyway, one of these celebrities that I've always really liked, a former Olympic sprinter, actually followed him on Instagram, saw him promoting a particular protein powder company, Herbalife, basically. Herbalife. I'm not going to say which sprinter it is. You can probably work it out. And saw him promoting it, so I gave him a message just saying, my man, like, I thought you'd know better than this, just really like you, etc. But just thought you'd let you know that the ingredients in this aren't great. You probably should know that, because especially if you're with what you're into and what you're promoting. And his response to me was, you know what, mate, I know this stuff's garbage, but I get paid to promote it. And that's something that I really want people just to take on board, because 99.9% of the stuff out there in supplements, health and fitness market is complete and utter garbage. Fillers, binders, toxins, things like cheap whey isolate for protein powders, or soy isolate protein, which is endocrine disrupting as well as being toxic. Then you've got MSG, which is manufactured in the process of making these powders, for example. Most of which are synthetic and are made from things like coal tar, so I called Holland and Barrett, Holland and McDonald's. And so when you're buying things from, you know, celebrities that look good, most of them, for example, here's another story. Steven Gerrard for Liverpool back in the day, they used to heavily promote Lucozade, and all the players used to take Lucozade. Got to the point where it was rotting Steven Gerrard's gut so much that every time he had a sip of Lucozade, he had diarrhea. He took one before a game and he had to run off the pitch, go down go down to the toilets and actually, you know, pass stool. And from then on, he only had water in his Lucozade bottle. And a lot of these athletes are either just promoting stuff because they get paid a lot of money to take it and they're not taking it, or they know it's garbage and they take it anyway, because it's not about health, it's about pound coins. This is why everything myself I promote, and the other people, for example, that I know in the game that I respect, everything we use are things that we take ourselves and we know it's in the highest quality. For example, Living Fuel that I always talk about, 2 scoops of it is the equivalent of $160 worth of organic produce. It comes from the best places on the planet. It's highly bioavailable. The body can use it. Same as everything else we use is basically whole foods in concentrated form. And so just be really, really wary of people, and especially celebrities. I mean, if it's endorsed on TV, celebrity or athlete, or it's promoted on TV, the mainstream media, I'd really, really highly recommend you stay away from it. Generally, it's cheap, it's highly toxic, it's got a massive markup, and it's garbage, and it's going to be doing nothing for your health or your vitality. The things that cost more, people say sometimes to me, oh, that costs a lot. It's like, well, relatively it doesn't. Most people spend £5 a day on coffee. You add that up over the month, it's £150. Something like living fuel costs I think it's like £60 or £70, and you have half a scoop of that a day. It'll last you a long time. So all relative, it's not expensive. And so you just have to understand where you're coming from. Also, the reason why some supplements are more expensive than others is because they're quality. Holland & Barrett, for example, do buy one get one for a penny, or buy one get one half price. You can't do that with quality products because there's just not enough room with the price. You don't see Ferrari doing buy one get one free. They wouldn't, because it's a top quality product, and they're not on the same. So when people say, "Oh, I have this," and you've got Juice Plus, for example. Whenever you ask Juice Plus for any of their certifications backing the claim that their stuff's organic, they can't produce it, or they won't produce it. Whereas you go to someone like Living Fuel, they'll show you. Go to someone, another greens drink, Macola, for example, they will show you. He's got his own biodynamic farm now. These people will show you their certifications because their reputation is based on it. Whereas other people, it's just about selling garbage. And what's in it? I mean, they've even shown, studies have shown some of the things that these companies, when you talk about natural health companies that have been around a long time, they've been around a long time for a reason, because their stuff actually works and it's their reputations on the line. Some of these other companies that you get out there, I mean, you go on and you try and buy a protein powder or any sort of, cheap vitamin C or whatever it is, those studies have shown that a large proportion, upwards of 80% of them, you can't even find the ingredient that they're saying in them. For example, they've gone and tested vitamin C's, vitamin E's, they've gone and tested protein powders, and there hasn't even been any of the particular vitamin, for example, in that powder. It's just been a lot of filler, binder and nonsense. And because it's a completely unregulated industry, basically, this hasn't been regulated by the Food and Drug Administration, for example, they can put whatever they want in there. This is why you have to be really, really careful about who you trust. And for example, like myself, I'm not going to sell anything or promote anything I haven't used myself. I don't know that it works, because it's my reputation. At the end of the day, and the reason we get the results that we do is because the stuff that we use is top end. I'm just sitting here now. I mean, Ancient Purity, just had a chat with the owner, Thomas Stavely, talking about the new stuff we're bringing over, what new products we can. Been talking about a few things that we've been looking at individually and how we can get it over, and what we can do to get it to our clients, etc. And you sit there and you talk to these people, they're good people with big hearts, and they've been in the business for a long time because what they do works, and they really care, and they produce quality. Very, very different. So when you've got a celebrity telling me, yeah, I know it's garbage, Ryan, but I get paid to sell it, Herbalife products, shock. Which at the end of the day, it is where it is. That's just one company. There's loads out there. If you look at MyProtein, etc., it's all garbage. When you've got athletes saying that, you've got celebrities on there, you see all the time. I mean, they've got 1 million followers. They need 10% of them to buy it, and they're laughing. And it's all about the bottom line. It's not about quality. So be really, really vigilant with who you listen to, and the results they get, and the lifestyle they lead, and who they're talking to. Because success leaves clues, health leaves clues, and these things that are on the market for a little while, the reason they changed their formula, or it's a multi-level marketing company. There's a reason why that is, because you can only sell shit to a certain amount of times before people start to realise it, and then it goes round in circles. So anyway, this is my message for today, guys. Be really, really careful about who you're listening to, what they promote. I mean, if it's promoted by an athlete or a celebrity, or it's on the mainstream media, the TV, I highly recommend you stay away from it. It's like when people get like Wellman stuff or Yakult, which is meant to be good for your gut. I wouldn't touch Yakult if you paid me. It might be good as a paint stripper, that's about it. And people say, oh, isn't it good for your gut health? No, nothing pasteurised, homogenised is good for your gut health. There's lots of kefir that you can get now in the supermarkets, which is, it says, added with bacterial strains. but it's already been pasteurized. So you're adding bacterial strains to an already dead, processed, homogenized product. So it defeats the whole purpose of it. And unfortunately, there's companies out there that do this because they can sell to the masses rather than the people that know what they're talking about in the health sphere. It's like the raw milk. People that make it. In fact, it's growing, but the market's not as big as the mass market. Milk, for example, is going down 1% every year in sales because people are getting so allergic to it, and it's not actually milk, raw milk. It's the homogenized, pasteurized version of it. So, anyway, just something to think about, guys and girls. Really pay special attention to who you're listening to and what their message is, and think about what they're getting out of it, because at the end of the day, for a lot of these companies, it's bottom line. When you see these companies like McDonald's and KFC and Coca-Cola, sponsoring cancer research, it's just like an oxymoron. This doesn't make sense. And it was pink ribbon stuff, and they've been sponsored by the companies that cause these diseases, or at least a big part of them. You just need to understand what the real message is behind that, or who gains from you buying their products. Okay, anyway, guys, that's it for this video. I hope you got something from it. If you are struggling with a health issue, you need help, just send me an inbox on here or an email at ryan@reviveyourself.co, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Otherwise, people, as always, have a good day. Get out in the sun, get some vitamin D, do something that you enjoy today. Laugh, smile, and as always, stay happy, stay healthy. Speak to you soon. Bye bye.